Please give a warm welcome to Bellingham mayoral candidate, April Barker.
Do only the candidates get sippy cups?
Oh, they're smart.
I wasn't offered one.
They're smart.
That's amazing.
Yes. How are y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you
Awesome
for having
sauce.
me. Thank you everybody for coming.
Yeah. How's the campaign going?
It's going fabulous. I have a strong team. We've been to a lot of doors and we just hit our stride, so we're still moving.
Nice. Excellent, excellent. Why do you live here in Bellingham?
I live here in Bellingham because of my husband. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I came here for graduate school. I graduated with a sports psychology degree from Western. And about 3 weeks before I graduated, I had a job back in Annapolis, Maryland, where I had been before. And I met my husband. Yep, and we took a trip all the way up to Banff and back, and I had the most amazing time and felt like I had just met my best friend and decided to bite the bullet, tell my job I couldn't go, and stay here in Bellingham. And we've been together ever since. Fun fact is we got married like a year later, and I really wanted to go back to the Four Corners area. That I like dry heat, and we don't have a lot of that here. And so my husband's a water baby, and I said, you know what, we're already here. I really like it. You can have the first 20 years. I'll take the next 20 years. And we just had our 15-year anniversary. And yeah, so I did tell him that I think I'm here to stay. So you're going to get the next 20 years too. So yeah, Bellingham has carved. We've carved out a little space for ourselves here in Bellingham. It feels very special, and it's carved out a part of my heart too. I feel very connected.
That is awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And how did you decide that you're the best person to run for mayor?
That sounds very arrogant, but yes.
Show me what you got.
You know, last year people started talking about Kelly had been giving some signs that she wasn't going to run again, and it wasn't a childhood dream of mine, even to be a city council member. I became a city council member because people across a lot of different cultures, jurisdictions, and sectors asked me to run. And I did, and I did a good job for 3 years, clearly, because a lot of those same people and more asked me to run again, but this time for mayor. And it's pretty serious for me, so I've been successful as a city council member, getting things like improved rental protections and working on some of our land use issues to provide more affordable housing, protecting manufactured home parks, all of these things. And my seat, the Ward 1 seat, aligns with the mayor. So I had to make a decision to vacate my seat in order to run for the mayor's seat. So it's mayor or bust for us.
Ooh,
yeah.
All the eggs in a basket.
Yeah.
All right.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Into that.
One of my favorite sayings.
Yeah. Is it really? Winner, chicken dinner.
So the mayor is still a job. So one
Yeah.
of the questions, or actually I'm going to ask a question and a follow-up.
Okay.
Have you ever quit a job? And then have you ever been fired from a job? And may we get those circumstances, please?
Get the dirt.
Yes.
You know, it's funny because I feel like from age 18 to 28, it's hard to remember everything. So I saw this question and I called a bunch of people like, have I ever been fired from a job? I can't remember, but I wanted to be truthful. And I got all my calls back saying, no, I have not been fired from a job. So there's one win.
Okay, I'm into that.
And, you know, of course, I've quit jobs always in good standing. I've moved quite a bit of my life. I had an opportunity right out of high school to get a full ride scholarship for volleyball. So I was really proud of that, volleyball. Go in, keep it up. Yeah, for out in Ohio, and then I had a career-ending injury really early. It's why I went into sports psychology, because I know the importance of teams and the importance of how we teach our youth and make sure that they stay healthy. Really, you should be, the older you are, you should look back and you shouldn't say, oh, I have a bad shoulder because I was an athlete. Hopefully you would say, I have a great shoulder because I was an athlete, but there's some changes we have to do in the sports field. But because of that, I didn't have parents that were able to afford my college, and so I committed to never missing a semester. And in order to do that, I had to go to a lot of different colleges. I think I ended up at 4 or 5, coaching and doing other things in the community. So yeah, I had a lot of different jobs along the way. Yeah.
Wow. So the mayoral race is coming up, and you've got 3 weeks left, and you're going to be in charge potentially of 900 people and a big budget, right?
Yeah.
So where do you want to take Bellingham? What does that look like to you?
Where do I want to take Bellingham?
Yeah, where do you want to take it?
This time of year, I want to go to Hawaii. Let's take Bellingham to Hawaii. We could go for, I don't know, a month or two and then come back.
Is that part of your platform?
It'll be like, when you were in high school and running for student council, it's like, everybody's going to get a soda. So they're like, I'm sending tickets to Hawaii, for the winter. No. I have been working for the people for 4 years. I've been working in the community, doing community involvement work, community building for a decade here in Bellingham. And I've been out to, I think at this point, my campaign manager told me 4,873 doors myself. So it's been very clear. I've heard Bellingham business as usual is not working. People are feeling extremely stressed financially. They're concerned about the climate, and they want to make sure that they also can carve out a place for them and their family here in Bellingham. I work in the public schools. A fun fact that a lot of people don't know is we have 47 languages spoken right here in Bellingham. Yeah, diversity's coming, and when they talk about all of the different folks that we're going to have over time, we have a really important part to play in that, making sure that people of a varying social economics can live in all parts of Bellingham, and that we ourselves are learning about our own culture so that we can make sure that we're staying open to other cultures. And as that new generation is diversifying, they will want to live in Bellingham and help move our economy forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do love that in this race, we have all been focusing, I feel like, on where we're headed with Bellingham. But do you have any idea or reason as to why we're not there already?
I think much like in America in politics, I think a lot of us, I know I did years back, it was not my childhood dream to be a mayor or a city council member or even to touch politics.
But it
like
seems
with the
so
ninth.
glamorous.
Yes. So lovely. I had I think the same that a lot of other people had in thinking that a politician had to have a very set amount of experiences. They looked a certain way, they were a certain person, they knew certain people. And that's just not the case. We're learning that more folks from non-traditional routes. I've been a member of teams my entire life. I've guided teams. I'm usually pushed out in front. It's just a natural leadership style that I have. And I think we're just learning that we need new, fresh people that are connected to today's leaders, that understand that we have 47 languages spoken in this community, that really are tightly connected to the issues, having had young children, having gone through a time where my husband didn't get any cost of living increase, trying to figure out how am I going to go to work in a job that I'm far too educated to be doing and bring home $2 an hour after I paid for childcare. So also understanding the women's wealth gap and what we have to do in this community to really promote women and make sure that we're being open to these non-traditional types of experience that bring a lot of innovation to the table. So I think we're on our way.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So you're mayor, let's say that. How long does it take Bellingham to get there? What does that look like?
What does that look like? Yeah. How long does it take to get there is dependent upon all these people here and all of you. We won't build our way out of this, and we won't buy our way out of this. We have to community our way out of this. And I think that's where these non-traditional experiences, bringing people together, showing folks how we can stay connected, and we don't always have to keep carving up the same pie and taking some from others. We can grow a bigger pie. Right. Yeah, so to the honest part, there's no easy answers, because even if we were to annex, if today the city council said, which we can't because the county council has to do this whole other process, but say we just said we're going to annex part of Cordata, we're going to bring more in, we're going to bring in South Kaitak. If we started that process right now, best case scenario, by the end of the mayor's first term, we will have one shovel in the dirt to build a home. So we really have to look at the land that we already have. So one of the things I've been working on at the city council level is a housing equity assessment. And so what that truly does is look at, we've had traditionally lower paying jobs than the rest of the state. And we just need to, I think, accept and embrace that and make sure that we have housing for those jobs so the small businesses can grow and people themselves can continue to prosper in Bellingham. So it really looks at how are we going to build those homes that if you're making $30,000 a year, or $80,000 a year, you're in that middle group. How are we going to build homes for you? How are you going to have an opportunity to be here in Bellingham and make Bellingham even better?
Wow. Well, April, I appreciate you being on here today. It has been amazing. I'm sure we could keep on talking and keep on talking, but we just really appreciate you being here. Thank
great.
you for taking time out of your busy schedule to share with the community of what you're all about.
Well, I'm super excited about this, and thank you for having me as well. I hear often that folks don't know where they can get trusted information, and they really don't know what's going on in Bellingham. So one of the things we'll be looking at doing when we get elected to be the next mayor is looking at these different communication platforms, how we can partner to make politics and social part fun, blend the two of them, and give people safe places to get the information and fun places to get the information too. So thank you for having me. I love this.
Yeah,
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.